Hey guys, what's up? My name is Bharat and today we're going to be reviewing the Nvidia RTX 3070. Now, Nvidia's lineup in India has been tricky. It's more or less been a shit show as far as availability of cards is concerned. Earlier, the prices were really high, but then they revised the prices to a slightly lower price point, and now the 3070 starts at around 44,500 rupees. Now, at that price, it may not be a budget card for a lot of people, and it's still a pretty expensive price, especially in a market like India, which is still a very low market as far as spending on CPUs and CPU hardware goes. But as far as an upgrade from a graphics card perspective is concerned, this now competes with the likes of the 2080 Ti, which up until a few months ago was priced at over 1 lakh rupees. So not only are you getting performance worth more than 1 lakh rupees, you're paying much less for it. And that is why this is possibly the most interesting card in Nvidia's 3000 series lineup. In this video, we're going to test out some of the capabilities of the card and also going to test out some of the performance and the thermals of the card. And we're also going to pit it up against the 3080 to see how much of a difference do you get if you decide to upgrade and go for the 3080. So let's start off with the design. The cards are very identical with respect to design, and the build quality and the materials used are almost the same. The major difference between the 3070 and the 3080 is the size of the card itself. The physical size of the 3070 is much more compact in comparison to the 3080, which makes this much more friendly for smaller builds. And if you have an ITX build along the line, then the 3070 will fit in there without any problems, and you won't need to think about it twice. Also, you'll see a difference with respect to the design of the cooler as well, wherein which the 3080 has a dual style fan. Here you only have the same fan blowing air outwards in both the directions, even though there is still pass-through for the air to go through. So you do have some vents on the back plate as well. So the air does transfer through the card and come out the back side. So there is some air that is being thrown onto your memory modules, which will cool them down if you decide to go for the Founders Edition card. Also, they continue to use their own pin system, which is their 12-pin system for the power delivery. And you do get a cable inside the box. However, this changes a single 8-pin to a 12-pin, which is strange, but you do need to use the cable, and it's going to most likely be the power delivery standard for graphics cards in the near future as well. For I/O, on the back, you do have 3 display ports and 1 HDMI 2.1, and this is excellent for people who are planning on using this for watching higher resolution streams. This card can deliver that information over high bandwidth HDMI as well. And of course, you do have a DisplayPort compression here as well. From a specifications perspective, the 3070 has 5,888 CUDA cores and a boost clock of 1.7 gigahertz. You also have 8 GB of GDDR6 RAM. It's not even 6X that you get on the upper cards. So that is going to be one of the bigger differences. So you get 10 GB with the 3080. There's also the fact that the 3080 has the GDDR6X RAM, which is considerably faster than the DDR6 that is available on the 3070. Now, there is a considerable price difference between the 3070 and the 3080. So the 3070 in India is supposed to be priced at 44,500 rupees, whereas the 3080 is supposed to be priced at 62,000 rupees. Well, good luck getting the cards at that price, because it is practically impossible finding the cards in the first place. And like I said, Nvidia's had a whole shit show of a launch as far as India is concerned, because you don't know where to get the cards. The Founders Edition cards are rarely not available, and you can't really find them anywhere. And they said that they'll sell the cards on the website, but they never did. And it's always remained in the notify me on the website. So that's definitely a big downside. You do get some cards available on sites like Amazon and some sellers that do deal in PC components, but they're basically scalping, and the prices are almost double in certain cases. So if you are planning on buying a 3000 series card, I would recommend that you hold on, because I've heard news that cards are coming into India really soon, and the supply will soon be fulfilled, and the prices will come back to what they're supposed to be versus the inflated prices that you're getting in the market right now. Now let's talk about performance. Once we popped in the graphics card onto our machine, we were not expecting impressive results. We were supposed to be competing with the 2080 Ti, something that we've dealt with in the past, so we weren't expecting a big jump in with respect to performance. But what we saw with some of our results is pretty impressive. And you see the difference between the benchmarks of the 3070 and the 3080, and the price difference of about 50% doesn't seem to be as impressive as the performance result that we're getting on the 3070. So here's a look at some of the benchmarks. Also, consistently, the temperatures remained around the 70 degrees Celsius. Now we are using an open chassis, so this is a test bench. But with respect to thermals in general, we find that Nvidia has done a fantastic job this year round, or this generation round, with at least their Founders Edition cards. And if you do get an add-in card from a third-party manufacturer, most likely you'll get a really good thermal solution. And there are reviews from lots of people for third-party add-in cards to see what kind of thermal performance you're getting. So pick your card wisely, especially if you're going to be really pushing your card a lot. Also, from gaming, now you can actually do 4K gaming on this card. But even though you can do 4K gaming, this is being more pushed towards 1440p and also a lot more towards 1080p gamers who do want more FPS. So this is basically going to deliver on that, and we saw a massive jump with respect to frame rates from any previous generation card in this price bracket to now what you're getting with the 3070. The results are pretty impressive. Take a look at some of the games that we played. Now, if you're in the market for a new graphics card and you think that you want the 3070, it is a fantastic card to get, and it is in no way underpowered, especially if you're going to be doing gaming. Bear in mind that it may not be the best card if you want to do some additional tasks like video editing or streaming, because 8GB of RAM can be restrictive, especially with some of the applications that are available today and some of the RAM management that you need in a graphics card for the kind of performance that you're expecting. But bear in mind that the price difference is considerable, and the increase in terms of performance from the 3070 to the 3080 may not be much even if you get the faster RAM. What is also interesting is that even though the 3070 is now available, or supposed to be available, actual supplies may still take about a month or so to be available in the market. And in the meanwhile, we are already reviewing the 6800 from AMD, and this seems to be something that you want to be subscribed for. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon, because we'll be stacking both of these cards head to head to see if the 6800 can actually deliver with respect to performance. And remember that this has 16 gigabyte of VRAM, whereas this has only 8 gigabyte of VRAM, and that will make a big difference, especially for tasks other than gaming. So that's it for our video. If you're in the market for a GPU, my suggestion would be wait a little bit longer, and not only will you get supplies for the cards, but also more interesting cards coming in the near future, and then you can choose which graphics card you want for your machine. But if you're really interested, the 3070 really does stack up, and it does deliver performance whether you're gaming on 4K, streaming on 4K, or even increasing your FPS in certain games at 1440 and 1080p. You'll see a big jump with respect to performance, and thermals are managed really well, at least on the Founders Edition cards. That's it for our video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to smash the like button, hit the subscribe if you've not already done that. My name is Bharat. I'll see you guys in the next one.